This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
A motorcyclist is in a critical condition after a crash on the state's east coast this afternoon. Emergency services were called to a bush track near St Columba Falls at Pyangana around 1 o'clock.
Two motorcycles were travelling on this gravel road behind a car, and one of the motorcycles has attempted to overtake the car, and in doing so has lost control and has crashed down through the bush, been thrown from his motorbike.
The rider has been airlifted to hospital with serious injuries.
The information I have is that he's got suspected chest and spinal injuries, and his condition is critical.
Police don't believe speed was a factor. This is the first serious crash of the festive period. Police are once again urging motorists to take their time while driving and stop to rest when they need to. More than 16,000 people have made the annual pilgrimage to Marion Bay for a packed lineup of music at Falls Festival. Organisers and authorities have reviewed security for the event after reports of sexual assault last year and a crowd crush at an interstate festival.
The rolling hills of Marion Bay transformed into a tent city, a New Year's Eve tradition for many.
Oh, just the music, have a bit of fun with friends and good food. Yeah. It's great, yeah.
More than 16,000 people are on site for the festival, which has expanded its lineup across 3 days. Up-and-coming Tasmanian musicians are being showcased on the homebrewed stage. Sharing the lineup with world-renowned acts like the Kooks, Foster the People, Glass Animals and Liam Gallagher. Grammy winner Flume is tonight's headliner.
I think the music programming exceptional. Some years you just get lucky, and you just start out with a wish list, and we had more ticks than crosses on that wish list this year than other years. Organisers
have reviewed security and protocols after incidents last year, including a crowd crush at Falls in Victoria and reports of sexual assaults at Marion Bay.
We work closely year round with police, fire, ambulance, all kinds of Save a Mate to mitigate all those things. And we've added this year extra security, extra cameras, more of a public awareness program.
Around 90 St John ambulance volunteers are out in force, helping with first aid and running the Save a Mate program.
So the MATES program is very much about prevention. So we have crews out there providing water, providing sunscreen, providing advice, just encouraging them to be safe.
Traffic today was fairly moderate, but delays are expected when revellers head home on New Year's Day. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
The buzz across the state is growing ahead of a busy New Year's Eve, with preparations in full swing. From the annual Taste of Tasmania to Launceston's popular Royal Eve, thousands will be out and about getting ready to celebrate 2018 in style.
There's just over a day left before fireworks take to the sky, welcoming 2018 with a bang. Preparations are underway, with thousands set to flock to festivities across the state.
On New Year's Eve, it's going to be an absolute carnival. It's going to be alive and vibrant.
It's shaping up to be a celebration of food, with the Taste of Tasmania set to be the biggest yet. Organisers are ready to take on the sea of revellers.
We're going to bring one of the biggest stages that exist in Tasmania onto the forecourt stage. We'll bring the grandstand seating out as well. We're putting in a big LED screen behind the stage, and we've got some roaming camera operators so everyone can see the fireworks from where they are.
In Launceston, more than 7,000 are expected to farewell 2017 at the Royal Eve party.
We're expecting a great day. It should be a lot of what we've seen last year, which was a really nice day for the family. We've got lots of great musical acts, as well as our official MC, Tommy Franklin's going to be bringing the good vibes.
Devonport will also host a free neon-themed event at the Roundhouse Park.
Oh man, Tassie's where it's at. I'm so stoked to be here. Come on down, let's do this. Come have some fun, let's go.
Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
Real estate analysts have their eyes on Tasmania for 2018. SQM Research is predicting Hobart to be the #1 performing Australian capital next year. It's predicting rising house prices in the order of 8 to 13%.
It's got a very strong local economy, yet the developers have not really arrived yet to add supply. So things are very tight in Hobart right now, and yet it is still Australia's most affordable capital city.
CoreLogic's November figures show Hobart house prices rose 12% in the last year. Tonight, the Hobart Hurricanes are ready to storm onto UTAS Stadium, hoping for a win against the Sydney Thunder in the Big Bash League. The women's team has already played, and our reporter Rita Risk is at the stadium embracing the atmosphere.
Well, Rachel, a massive crowd of 16,000 people are expected here tonight. There are people from all over the state. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. As you know, this is the first time the men have played in Launceston, so some very excited fans. We spoke to some earlier.
Oh, it's great. We always have to travel down to Hobart, so actually getting to watch it in our hometown is really nice.
It's really good that it's in Launceston, so we thought we'd come along and support it.
Oh, we're pumped, mate. We couldn't have waited all the way from down to Burnie. We're that excited to get the Hurricanes over the line tonight.
It should be awesome. It'll be good.
Cricket Tasmania are hoping to host more games here in the future.
We'll let this one run through. I'm sure there'll be some operational lessons that we'll get out of playing our first game here, particularly in front of such a big crowd. But I think the crowd have voted with their feet. They've shown that they want Big Bash here, and we'll be doing everything we can to make sure we return.
Premier Will Hodgman also attending the match tonight, confident of a win.
It's really bringing our state together, so it's a wonderful testament to the city, but also to the Hurricanes, and we're looking forward to a great night tonight and a big win.
The women have played in Launceston before, attracting large crowds, but nothing like this. They wrapped up earlier in the afternoon, making way for the men in an epic double-header. We'll bring you all the women's results in sports. Rachel?
The Liberal government is pledging to boost its commitment to sporting facilities for girls and women. $10 million will be invested over 2 years into upgrading female facilities for football and cricket if the government is re-elected.
This is a significant investment. $10 million is by far and away the largest per capita investment of this type for any state or territory in the country to upgrade women's facilities.
Down here in Tasmania, of the 192 venues we have, only 22 actually are female friendly. So this is a massive investment. It's a great outcome for cricket, but it's also a great outcome for all sports that have women and girl participants.
Labor says the government's playing catch-up, adopting a Labor policy 6 months after they committed to providing new facilities. The announcement comes as female participation in football increased by 30% and it also rose in cricket. Now to the second part of our 3-part series, analysing our political leaders in the final year before the state election. Tonight, state political reporter JACQUELIN Robson speaks with opposition leader Rebecca White. She's hoping to bring the Labor Party back from a 2014 election wipeout.
It was one of the biggest stories of 2017, a game-changing decision for the opposition leader.
Step down, retire from politics as from today.
Brian Green personally passing the baton to Rebecca White.
It's a very humbling experience and seemed a little bit daunting at the time, but I'm so grateful for their support and the encouragement that I've received. I've loved the job.
Since then, the new Labor leader has gained traction in the polls, but whether her popularity can pull the party along will only be revealed in March.
We know we have to win seats in every electorate, so we're working really hard right across the state. There's no doubt we'll pick up some seats based on the polling that's already been shared. However, that's not enough for us to win government. I'm very aware of that.
A bold policy to remove poker machines from pubs and clubs could make or break Labor's majority chances.
We had the election of Pembroke in that process too, where Joe Seeker obviously was able to get direct feedback from the community about how they felt having poker machines in pubs and clubs. So it was a team effort.
A policy separating the two major parties. Another is education. The opposition not continuing the government's rollout of years 11 and 12 to all Tasmanian schools.
If Labor took office, would there be any more rollouts of year 11 and 12 to other schools?
We would look to introduce a policy where children enrolled at year 7 for their learning in year 11 and 12. So we start to change the culture because kids don't disengage from school at year 10. They do it much sooner than that. We need to work earlier with families and students.
So if you could sum up the year in one word, what would the word be?
Big. It's been a big year. It's been a really exciting time to be in politics and to be involved with the Labor Party. We've got a great team, we've got a really exciting and energetic enthusiastic group of people who are campaigning for the election.
An election that's now just 3 months away. Jacqueline, Robson, Southern Cross News.
Dozens of keen swimmers have braved a chilly River Derwent for the annual Pier Swim, the third leg of the Tasmanian Ocean Series. Some of the state's best watermen and women were in action, including Ironman Cameron Worth, with juniors, opens and masters battling it out over the 1.2-kilometre course.
I think what got me involved to start with was just enjoying the water again. It's a really kind of like the fun run of the swimming world.
The next events in the series are at Bridport next Saturday, followed by Port Sorell on Sunday. Taswater is investigating the source of a contamination in Mole Creek's water supply. Residents in the area are being put on a boil water alert, with authorities advising them to boil water used for drinking and food preparation. Taswater says just one of several tests came back positive for E. coli during routine sampling. 2017 was the year Tasmania's Jackie Lambie was forced to resign from the Senate. Tony Abbott was headbutted on our shores, and the life of one of the state's most respected rescue helicopter pilots was tragically cut short. Tonight, we take a look back at the year that was.
A new year bringing new opportunities. And new chances for Tasmanians to gain national attention, but not always for the positive news. A headbutt attack on Tony Abbott in Hobart, making headlines across the country.
I decided I'm never going to get the opportunity to headbutt that again, so I seized the moment.
It is more than a little disturbing.
The Premier apologised to those hurt by the state's former anti-gay laws.
The island society that once rejected them now embraces them.
And when the country embraced same-sex marriage, many Tasmanians rejoiced.
It was just extraordinary, and I was in tears.
Tears also shed for two young girls killed in a fire at Turners Marsh in June, and many other lives were also cut short.
We're currently charging both men with 1 count of murder.
He's somebody's son and somebody's brother.
Susan Neal-Fraser made a last-ditch appeal for freedom, and Klaus Dieter Newbert was sentenced to 25 years jail for murdering his estranged wife in Newtown. A Deloraine girl miraculously survived being shot in the face. A Devonport plane crash in March took the life of Milfred Knight. And in November, another tragedy. The aviation community mourning the loss of one of the state's most respected rescue helicopter pilots.
Tasmania would not have the service it has today without the tireless work of Roger and Alana.
A Hobart developer received a hefty fine for illegally demolishing a heritage-listed home. A father and son feared dead after being lost in Tasmania's southwest for 3 days in April were remarkably found alive.
I thought we were on the way out, to be honest. I really did.
And Triabunna locals were hailed heroes after rescuing an elderly man from his sinking vehicle. Malcolm Turnbull declared he wanted to make Tasmania
a battery for Australia.
And he put the Mersey Hospital back in state government hands. The Attorney-General was diagnosed with brain cancer and stepped down from Parliament.
This is very distressing news for all those who work with her and those who know her.
Brian Green, Lara Giddings and Matthew Groom also calling it quits. Peter Gutwin's push to take over Taswater went down the drain, and Glenorchy councillors were sent packing. An emotional Jackie Lambie declared she's actually a Scot.
I love my father to death, and I do not blame him for this.
Joining Stephen Parry to resign from the Senate over the citizenship saga. Launceston Institution Birchall's bid farewell.
Years we've been in Tasmania and we haven't not missed 1 week coming here. I think I'm going to cry.
Fitz's City Calf served up its last scones.
We are closing for the last time in Fitz's City Calf. Final call.
And Edith Creek's Murray Goulburn factory closed. Tasmanian tiger trackers claimed they had vision of a thylacine near Medina. The old tin mining town Derby was brought back to life as thousands of mountain bike riders took on the Enduro World Series. And just when we thought the news of 2017 had sailed away, One last controversy in the Sydney Hobart. Wild Oats stripped of its line honours after Comanche's protest was upheld.
I wasn't expecting a decision that was going to change the outcome of the race.
Another year done, but many more stories still to be told. MANIKA, DADSON at Southern Cross News.
The Hobart Hurricane's shocking WBBL season has continued in Launceston, with around 2,000 people turning out to watch the Sydney Thunder chase down the run total with ease, leaving the Canes winless at the bottom of the ladder. A sluggish start for the Canes saw runs few and far between. Lauren Whitfield was the first to fall before fellow import Vader Krishnamurthy gifted the visitors another. In desperate need of boundaries, Hayley Matthews delivered, the West Indian then given a lifeline on 15. But the Thunder attack wasn't the only thing she was battling with.
Now something's happening here. I think Hayley Matthews has some sort of insect or something inside her helmet. She's thrown the helmet off.
And just as Georgia Redmayne started to find her feet, her run was brought to an abrupt end on 12. Matthews managed to hold steady, preventing another top-order collapse. Veronica Pike then going one better. But her luck ran dry on 14, as did Matthews shortly after. A questionable call for a quick single brought Nicola Hancock unstuck. The skipper then combining with Stephanie DeFara to steady the ship, with the Canes 112 after 20 overs. Rachel Haynes and Rachel Priest quickly set about destroying Hobart's hopes, making easy work of the Canes' attack as they raced towards the total. The breakthrough not coming until the 7th over, courtesy of Brooke Hepburn, the Thunder lending a helping hand, with Haynes sending teammate Alex Blackwell packing by mistake. But the damage was done as the visitors cruised home with 4 overs and 7 wickets to spare. And as predicted, the fork in the road has taken line honours in this Launceston to Hobart yacht race, with the boat crossing the line just after 6 p.m. last night. Skipper Gary Smith and his crew took control of the race off the east coast on Wednesday night after fellow contender Tilt was forced to retire with a torn mainsail. It's Smith's 6th line honours victory in the race. Finally, in sport, crowds will have a chance to see some world-class athletes in action tonight during the main events of the Devonport Carnival. American track star and Rio Olympian Devon Allen is a red-hot favourite to take out the men's 200 metres in his first appearance at the Carnivals, while fellow American Martha King will look to back up her impressive win in Launceston as the Wood Chopping World Title Series continues. Sam Welsford and Tasmanian Amy Cure will be the ones to watch in the men's and women's wheel races, with the final getting underway around 9 p.m.
Good evening. Windy weather around the state today. Hobart and Burnie reached 19, slightly warmer in Launceston and Devonport with 21 degrees. St Helens made it to 25 today, Friendly Beaches 22, 20 for Flinders Island. 19 was a popular high today, reached at Lowhead, Wynyard and both Maria and King Islands. Bushy Park 18, 17 at Grove and Strawn, Lyweenie 11 degrees. A swirl of thunderstorm clouds that are ex-tropical cyclone Hilda lie over central WA. A band of mid to high level cloud also extend from the ex-cyclone across the country to northern New South Wales and south to New Zealand. There is also some speckled low level cloud covering Tasmania. On the close-up, we can see a band of middle and high level cloud off the east coast of Tasmania, moving further away from the state. Low level cloud is flowing over the state in a westerly stream. Tomorrow, a cold front sits to the west of Tasmania and a weak pair of highs can be seen over New South Wales and South Australia. A series of troughs run through tropical Australia. To the coastal waters now, winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the west, south and northeast. Seas around 2 metres. The windy conditions are set to continue with a strong wind warning for north-eastern coastal waters from Flinders Island to Wineglass Bay and for southern and western waters from Tasman Island to Sandy Cape. Tomorrow now, and partly cloudy for Hobart, 24, 26 in Richmond, also partly cloudy, and a cloudy 23 for Ooze. Launceston, 22 and partly cloudy. Cloudy conditions also in Devonport and Deloraine, both 20 degrees. Burnie cloudy, 21. Strawn can expect some showers with 19. 19 also for Curry with a shower or 2. St Helens looking warm again tomorrow with a sunny 25. Swansea mostly sunny 26 degrees. 21 and a shower or 2 for Whitemark. The UV is 11, which is extreme. Looking to Monday now, showers about the west and south extending to the east coast in the evening. Showers about the west, south and east on Tuesday, fine elsewhere. Wednesday, showers about the west and far south and fine elsewhere. To the rest of the country now, and mostly sunny for Adelaide, Melbourne, Canberra and Cairns. Sydney, a shower or 2 clearing, 25, 33 for Brisbane and 34 with a possible shower or storm for Darwin. Currently in Hobart, it's partly cloudy and 15, Launceston 19 and clear, Devonport 17 and clear. And that's the weather. Back to you, Rachel.
Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.